You'll see my real eye color. In the sun, it'll be like, it'll have green in it and stuff. And, my dad's Mexican. And welcome back. I mean, I don't, probably should work on an introduction. Welcome back. This is the SBC Podcast. And you're here, we're here. Today's Monday, and honestly, well, when this is posted, it'll be Tuesday, and um, I'll be honest with you. I'll be straightforward. We're 50 something seconds in, almost a minute in. It's not gonna be too many jokes today, and to backtrack about everything. I truly do love everyone as a person, even strangers and stuff. There's a positive to everyone. There is. You know, everything I say is, jokes. They're just jokes about people, jokes about, how some people treat other people. And, I like to use comedy to lighten the mood. Sometimes the world's too serious and it needs to, I like laughing. New TV show on TV show on Netflix, Tires, came out with the season 2, and it's hilarious. But it takes jabs at Jews and, you know, I should say Jewish people. Some people say Jews. Um, you know, that's comedy, and I love it. I like doing it. I'm not apologizing for anything because I am who I am. I'm a nice person. I wouldn't deliberately be rude to anyone towards their face, really. Um, I almost didn't do this. I almost skipped this week. Personally, I just struggle not only with crippling back pain. I mean, it weighs on me mentally too, because performance at work is not, I mean, I used to do sports and stuff, and now I don't, and this is what I do. I do this, and I do work, and I do the best I can at work, you know. Still trying to get promotions, and it's, that's whatever. But it's just not, I mean, I don't know. Life is crazy. At a young age, it's wild. You make mistakes, and you separate yourself from the people that you've known for such a long time, and I'm sure they would know who I'm talking about. Now I don't really talk about personal stuff a lot, but today I am. You know, I masturbate a lot. No, I'm joking. That's a joke. I'm sorry. Um, no, but to be honest with you, I've had someone in my life that you know, went to the ends of the earth and treated me like a real human for a long time, and I don't zen. I'm not a fucking queer or anything. I don't zen all the time. I was so drained today, and just mentally, and Every day I want to leave work early, because I'm sitting most of the time. I'm sitting down because I extend my breaks and stuff because I hurt, and then medication, pain meds, mood swings and shit. I treat people. I mean, I don't deliberately like fuck you to people at work, but I'm like, I'm not in the best mood because just all the stuff has a toll on me. Pain meds, the pain, and then it's different stuff. But everyone deals with different things, and I'm sure some of you are. It's it's rough, People are in different situations. Someone I love, and I'm talking about my brother. In this instance, we'll get to other people. He struggles, but he keeps it. He keeps a shell on things. And I'm super proud of him for that. But also, don't ever. I don't know. I don't want him to give up on his dreams, and that's just how I feel. I care about other people a lot more than myself, and I like to help everyone. That's just who I am. I mean, this episode's honestly just just kind of getting to know what's going on and with me and how I usually think every day. I'll run through the day and all jokes will pop in my head. I'll write them down, and I like them. But at the end of the day, I'm not 100% happy. I'm not really, you know. I turn to God a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if someone doesn't believe in that, then I don't, no judgment at all, except that I do judge. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. No, I think everyone, I think everyone deserves to be happy, but at the same time, if you're happy all the time, you don't have anything to worry about. Then what is there to do? You know what I mean? Like, what is there? What keeps you on your toes? What's I'm not saying the point of life is to have things to worry about and responsibilities, but what would be the point if you didn't? There's just there's a I look at positive. Everything has a positive, and that's the way I try to look at things. You know, my situation. I started doing this, and hope it helps me because I really don't have anyone to listen except whoever's here. Um, I'm sure there's a lot of people my age that don't have anyone that would listen, truly listen. People would listen, but then they'd be like, "Hey, you want to go get fucking Chipotle or something?" It's like, what? I was just talking about I was talking about killing myself, and then you're like Chipotle. I'm not talking about that. I've had that in the past for sure. Those thoughts, ran through my head, but you know, I'm what you know, what people would call saved. Saved by the church and stuff, and thankful for that. I don't do that anymore, but I still struggle. I still struggle a lot, and what did I have? No, the people. Yeah, I've had amazing, people in my life as far as family and significant other. I'm not gonna put an S on that because there's really only one that's been that helped me, and that was there. And everyone makes mistakes. I've made mistakes. They have made mistakes, and um, that's just life, people grow. And it's hard to be distant. It's hard to be distant from people, and for more than 3 years, I mean, I'd say close to 6 or 7, I've, constantly had a person to talk to. And, we don't have to say names here, but that person's always been there, and you know, we won't get too deep into that because it's not anyone's fucking business but mine. But there's someone out there, and I'm not talking about like that. I'm not talking about there's someone out there for people. I'm not talking about in my case and everyone else's case. There's someone out there for someone. For you, whoever you're listening or watching. But life is a great thing. It really is. Um, sometimes I do, sometimes I do wish, the story of Pinocchio. Sometimes I do wish people had that fucking disease, where their nose grew or their fucking nipples grew really long. Or, some girls actually do have, the nipples will show through their shirt and shit. And I don't know if necessarily, I don't know if that's the same thing as Pinocchio, like if they're lying or anything. I'm not a girl, so I don't know why that would happen. Oh, well, maybe it's because it's cold. That's the only reason I would know. And, nipples don't lie when it's cold. That's all I know. Um, but you could tell, someone's eyelashes grow. It's like, oh, you want to go out tonight? And it's like, yeah, I do. And their eyelashes grow another inch. It's like, ah, now you fucking don't, dude. I'm gonna stop asking questions before you look like fucking, Shaquisha with the extended eyelashes and shit. You know, or Roberta, or um, what's another Hispanic name? Girls, because Hispanic girls have long eyelashes sometimes, but yeah, it'd be good, something grew, and let's keep it up, you know, let's keep it up here, so we don't get perverted or anything. But like their hair grows like super fast or something, and it'd be cool if a girl's ass grew if they lied. You just fucking catch your girl on a lie, and you're like, damn, my girl just got 40 cc of ass from 3 questions. And now I'm happy at night, when we're conversing and like adults do alone in bed at night. But yeah. And another thing I thought about today is sometimes, sometimes every once in a while, and I have a lot of people that I know, and I'm just talking about friends, I'm talking about, one buddy, Jameson. I got a bunch of friends, um, but I haven't talked to them for a while, and every once in a while I'll be like, oh, they popped in my head. I'm gonna text them, what's up, Some people don't have time, Some people are married at my age, at a very early age, and have kids and stuff now. Um, even family members, grandmas, grandpas, if they're still out there, moms, dads, if you're not living with them and stuff, just send them a text, see how they're doing and check up on them. Old coworker friends, I have a buddy that was in the hospital recently. He was an old coworker of mine, I used to be a mechanic, and he's probably close to 50 years old. But I love meeting new people. I love making friends and stuff, and you know, just being who I am. You know, just check up on those people. This is a reminder. Check up on someone that you care about, loved one, family member, someone you haven't talked to in a while. Just check up on them, see how they're doing. I think they would appreciate it. Um, you know, they would feel like, thought of, I get, in a sense, and I think that's important. Yeah, I'm looking at notes. I write down notes, I write down notes every day, what I want to talk about and stuff. And sometimes I can't remember because so much stuff goes through my head. Pain, pain, more pain and pain. Um, but sometimes I want to be okay, and sometimes I am okay. Sometimes there are times I feel fine, and I'm like, well, this is going good. I have hope, and sometimes I'm just like today. I was ooh. I was like, nah, nothing's going good for me. But truly, there's something going good for you when you stop moving and just sit there and think. Um, a lot of people don't cut their fingernails and toenails and stuff, and sometimes we got to do it. Some people don't wash their neck in the shower, and some people, uh, some people don't even take showers. Honestly, I mean, we're not going to shoot shots at anyone, but that's some people don't, you know. But I think everyone deserves a chance to be respected, no matter who they are. Homeless, um, a child. I have a little brother, and it's funny how just exciting things are for him, and a big part of me wants to make sure that stays like that all throughout his life. Even from my older brother, because everyone struggles somehow. Some people got too large of a penis or something, and they can't find a significant other, and some people can't or can lose weight, but they don't, and because they think they just it's too far, or, you know. I've always thought it would be crazy if like school went all the way up and up until instead of stopping at the 12th grade, before you go to college, it'd be like the 14th grade. You'd be yeah, close to 20 years old. 20 years old, dude. That'd be weird, huh? If that happened nowadays, it'd be like, oh, what'd you do over the summer? Oh, I got engaged. I had 4 kids, and I'm dropping out. Teacher would be like, well, your, you know, your exam's due tomorrow. And he's like, well, I got to, breastfeed my own kid because my baby mama walked out, and that's usually not how it happens. Actually, it's the dad, So, the woman would be like, "Oh, I gotta bring my fucking 3 kids to school with me. I gotta fucking breastfeed 2 of them and do my algebra." And that's why we have 12 grades and not 14. I think that was a smart decision, whoever made that up. And yeah, that's they thought of that one. They definitely did. In today's age, man, it's crazy how fast young people are moving. And they don't. I'm career oriented personally, because I'd be scared to have a family or something, especially now. I mean, what the hell am I gonna do? I can't pick up a child. Um, and some people can make it. Some people, the pressure and the struggle will force them to get out of the situation or force them to buckle and stay where they're at for the rest of their lives. It just depends on the person. That's for me. That's where God comes in. And it's like, if you're close to God, everything will work. I believe that. I hope everyone else does. For the majority of people, I hope. You know. But for me, this is the time where I'm anxious and I'm just worried and stuff, and I got to get stuff going. I feel like you know getting I'm being slowed down here. You know, and I used to think significant others uh, hold back in life, and some people make it through without a significant other, and some people make it all the way. Conor McGregor did it. He had the same girl with him the whole way. She didn't slow him down. I think it was his mindset and stuff. And friends are important. It's also important to just be around those people. It's important to help others. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that overall, it's important to help others because it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feels like you did something, rather than completing a whole week of work and helping 5 people. Trumps that every single time for me. I could be never have money, and helping people would suffice just fine. I mean, I want to be well off. I mean, everyone does, and that would, benefit me more to help people. I mean, 100%. And that's something I'll never give up, is just helping people, no matter how I can. Friends, family, people I don't know, people that I just met, always want to. I met a friend months ago, I guess now. Um, you know, for the first time, we went out to go eat, and that wasn't gay at all. It was just two guys hanging out, going to eat for the first time. Not gay. It was not a gay date or anything, and I'm not gay. Um, and I'm not gay. Before I say this, I'm not gay. But I paid for both of us. And I just like to be kind to everyone. And I think it makes a full circle. It makes a full circle if also I don't think it's good. I don't think it's you don't do it to get something in return. Is what I'm saying. But truly does make a full circle. just by nature. But thankful. I truly am thankful. I'm truly thankful for one person too. And that one person probably, I mean, should know who I'm talking about, and you know, just always there. And hopefully y'all can hear me. I think y'all can. I can't tell because I feel like I'm speaking really low here, but thankful, and I haven't spoke to them in a while, and it's okay because I know one day they'll still, they'll still be there. I'll still be here, and I believe that. But anyways, I don't have a problem with the gays. I really don't. I'm just not gay myself, and I may have said this in the past, but if you don't think about it, like if you don't put yourself in the don't put yourself in the situation. That's gay. But we don't think of the scenario. Or, hey, could I, not okay? Could I, like someone that's the same? No, if you haven't done that, then you might be gay. You know, because you wouldn't know. And I know I'm not. A lot has happened. World War III. Apparently, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. Tell you what, I'm glad I'm not in the military. Mm, probably be off somewhere where I shouldn't be, because this is where I'm supposed to be. For some reason, this is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not looking for the answer, honestly. I'm just here. Be honest with me, do I look like I just graduated from high school? I don't care about looking older, I really don't. I like looking younger. I used to not, but I'm okay with it. Oh, I had this older lady, so I go to this Dollar General and stuff, and I had this older lady. Um, I went in there twice today, yeah, to grab some stuff, dude. Get out of my fucking business. Went in there twice today to grab some stuff, and the first time, she was making conversation. She seemed happy to see me and stuff, and I'm just like, I've seen her before, and sweet older lady, and it made me smile. So it brought me up today, and this is why it's super important to be nice to people. And she said, "I'll be here on Wednesdays." She said, "I better see that handsome face again." It just made me happy. But you know, I got a friend in prison, and haven't messaged him, and I need to. That's who I need to text. We're almost out of time, actually. So I'll either see y'all later this week. I might post again, because I got a lot to talk about, and then